Yo, everybody. Psst. Look at this guy. You see him, right? Come here. Look at this guy. Look into his eyes. He looks like he wants to kill you, right? This guy looks like he wants to rip through that piece of paper and attack me right now. You know what, everybody? Hold on now, real quick. Let's just do a quick hypothetical. Let's hypotheticalize real quick, for lack of better words. Imagine you're just scrolling through your child's school yearbook, right? You're just scrolling. It's been a good year. Your 5-year-old has had a good year. So you're just scrolling. Oh, look, that's my baby right there. Oh, that's when she did Easter. And you know, when you get to the back of the book, you see the big photo with staff members and everybody's lined up, and it's the PE teachers, the superintendent, the temp teachers, it's everybody just smiling for everybody to see. We're the ones who educate, nurture, and protect your children. That's what they're basically saying, right? Imagine you saw this fucking guy in the yearbook. The hypothetical is, would you leave your child in that school system, or would you yank them the fuck out at the speed of light? This is a school photo, not for a child. Obviously, this is a grown man. This is a school photo for the teacher job of Andrew James Mcgann. Andrew James Mcgann. Now, if you guys haven't really heard too recently, it's been going all over the news. This guy found the family and murdered mom and dad, and the kids were able to run away. He finds a new family in the area of Arkansas, just having their cool little weekend, having a hike of all places, and he kills both parents, apparently in front of both their little girls. But it gets way worse, because we're going back to that photo that you just saw, the one where he's like in the school picture. This man has worked for, I wrote it down, this man has worked for 5 school districts in the past 3 years. A psycho murderous man with a picture like this, and we're going to get through his history in a minute, has been working at 5 separate school districts in the past 3 years. Now, it would be alarming by itself if he worked at any school district. But the fact that he's worked at 5 locations in 3 years, do the math. At least 5 locations in 5 years, right? That means he's been hopping, moving, and jumping all over the place. Why is that? So we're going to go into the man that is Andrew James Mcgann, and we're going to figure out what he was doing in his past before he led up into these horrendous murders. And a lot of people are thinking that this situation was because he's into kids. Not the adults at all. Because if you think about it, he teaches children, and he targeted a family with little kids as well. And he's had some questionable behavior in the past. So we don't even know what he's been doing before this, leading up to this. The man could have bodies, is what I'm trying to say, that we don't even know about it. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out what happened a few days ago at the Devil's Den campsite in Arkansas. Let's do this thing. All right, so we need to discuss the incident that even put this guy on anybody's radar in general. Now that this tragedy took place, I feel like his entire life is going to be turned upside down. And if there's any type of behavior, they're going to look into it. If there's any odd behavior in his past, all that shit's going to be turned upside down. It's going to happen. And a person like this, I feel like, could possibly definitely have more skeletons in their past, right? But anyways, he was on the run for about 2 days, if you could even call it on the run. He just left the murder scene, basically. So I wouldn't say he was on the run, but let's see what the police said. Special agents with Arkansas State Police have arrested Andrew James Mcgann, 28, my age, of Springdale, in connection to a double homicide that occurred on Saturday, July 26, 2025, at Devil's Den State Park. Mcgann was taken into custody at 4:57 p.m. on a Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, at a business in Springfield. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder. And I just want to show you the whole situation with what we're dealing with. This is Devil's Den, right? So if you look at the first picture alone, you can kind of tell what's happening here. I always say, listen, I grew up in Belize. Whenever you go into the bush like that, because that's what we call it, you're going into the bush. When you go into the bush, you carry weapons, bro. Because you, just like in Belize, you will encounter people. Just because it's nothing but bush don't mean humans aren't back there. There's like I wouldn't even say a 50-50 chance. There's like a 70% chance that you're going to run into somebody. If the person decides that they want to have a one-on-one with you and kill you, you better be prepared. So it's always things like this where I'm like, Basically, if you're traveling in a place like this and you don't have any guide or anything like that, you need to have a gun. Point blank, period. You need to have a pistol, maybe for animals or maybe for another human who wants to act like an animal. I guess we're all animals at the end of the day. You need to have a damn weapon on you. And, this is a big little group and all that. There's not much that I see happening to a group like this. But when you go with your wife and kid into the forest, man, I wish they had a gun. That's all I'm saying. So you guys kind of get the picture, right? Bunch of vegetation, paths, areas where you could break your ankle, places where people won't know where you're at. This gives the perfect environment for someone with malicious intent to do something like that, which again is like, why was he even out there? They say they never knew each other. So I feel like it was either going to be that family or another family. Andrew just wanted to kill somebody that day or do something with their children. Clinton David Brink, 43, and Kristen Amanda Brink, 41, were fatally attacked while hiking with their 2 daughters. The girls, who were 7 and 9, were not injured and are safe with family members. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders released the following: "No news can heal the enormous harm done to the Brink family in the last weekend's crime. But this announcement is a comfort and reassurance for our state. I am proud of the Arkansas State Police, park rangers, local law enforcement, and others who have worked nonstop since last weekend to capture this suspect. I ask that Arkansas lift up prayers of thanks for the brave men and women of law enforcement and offer prayers and condolence to the victims of this horrific crime. Let there be no mistake. We do not tolerate violent crime in Arkansas. If you target innocent people, law enforcement will hunt you down and bring justice." And I kind of find it funny that they're saying, the countless hours and the investigations to find this horrible, hardened criminal. Bro did the murders, knew that the little girls ran off, got in the same car, got some electrical tape and tried to alter some numbers and went about his life. Your boy went to get a haircut. Now, I'm not sure if this haircut is normal procedure for Andrew. It could be. But if it is, he wasn't even running. He wasn't even tripping about nothing. And that's the psychopath in him, I feel like, to where he's kind of oblivious to all the mistakes that he possibly made, or maybe he just doesn't care. Okay? There is a slight chance that he was getting this haircut to change his appearance. But in my opinion, he was probably going to go back to the school year when school opened back up. He was moving on with life. That was fun, huh, guys? Type shit. Let's show the arrest of him being in this barbershop real quick. It says video suspect in Devil's Den killing arrested at salon. And this is him. I mean, if you look at him, it just screams. That's why I showed you that picture in the beginning. It just screams psychopath. Like, look at him. Hair over his eyes, all dark and mysterious and shit. Absolute fucking weirdo. The Shorty shaved side of his head and just left. That shit is hilarious, bro. Shorty shaved, and that was it. She was like, well, the police are here, big dog. I can't do this shit for you no more. I just want to back this up. I don't want to keep playing this video. I just want to show you one The way he approaches her is even creepy. Imagine this walks up to your kids, hands in pocket, hair over eyes, stoop down like he's about to do something sneaky. Look at it. Like, bro, what the? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Maybe I'm reaching, but I feel like he reminds me of Chris Gregor. The whole demeanor, the always angry and intent face, all of that shit. This is like a Chris Gregor reenactment, in my opinion. And now we move over to the intake cell after they take him from the barber shop. And this is when they really search his ass down real quick. Face the wall. They're probably about to uncuff him and do all that other shit. And I posted a video the other day about this process being very vital, because after this, they might uncuff you. They might put you in the interrogation room, whatever. There was a situation where somebody had a gun in their waistband and they didn't check him properly and he shot a police officer. So I feel like this is one of the most crucial steps. I'm pretty sure everybody else feels the same way, but it's like, you can't be missing shit like that, bro. Especially not with somebody like this. And then they uncuff him. See what I mean? You see what I mean? This is why it's so vital. Oh, damn. That arm was probably hurting. This is why it's so vital to keep these motherfuckers in handcuffs until you know for sure they don't have nothing. But anyways, they just search him down, take care of business, and that's it. Now I kind of want to talk about his past, right? Because there's a lot of talk about how he used to treat the students, particularly females. Okay. Now this was the school that he was about to go back to. I don't know how you say that. What is it? Bayari Elementary. So if he had not gotten arrested, this was the school that he was going to be working at. And just look at the size of it, bro. You got some cars in there. Just look at the size of it. Bayari Elementary School, if I'm saying it right. This is such a small school, and it doesn't matter how big or small a school is, but I feel like predators like this this is a safe haven for a predator. It's so small, so secluded. If anything happens, you could just quit and leave the state, which is kind of a track record that we see from him. And this is the school that he was about to go and ruin some more lives at. Now, if we go even further back, he used to work at this school called Sand Springs Elementary, right? And this is where some parents had some concerns. Apparently, he was making crude jokes with the boys, and he was telling or suggesting to little girls that they sit on his lap. Now, this is given from the mother. She took to Facebook, and she was explaining all of this, and I'm assuming that a lot more of these stories are going to start to pop out, and he probably got caught all 5 times, and he just moved fast enough so that it didn't become a big enough problem. I think this man is probably a predator, right? And it all happened at Sand Springs Elementary, and then he had to move to this one. I bet you if you gave this guy 6 more months at the new school, he would be moving once again. But I guess his temptations got a little too high, and he decided to go out into the woods and do that to the family. It's absolutely crazy, bro. How do we have people like this around our kids, dog? I don't understand it. I don't get it. From the look of his profile on that school website, that was all I needed to see. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but damn it, that one you probably could. You probably could. Shit. But anyways, this was just 2 of the schools that he worked at, and I'm pretty sure a lot more information is going to come out from all the other schools that he worked at. But as we've understood, as we've seen in the past, school districts will attempt to be as secretive as possible until they're forced to release information, not only for the kids' safety, but for the safety of their own reputation. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I bet you There's going to be a lot more parents than just the Sand Springs Elementary School that are talking about some things that he did to their kids as well. So this is him at Sand Springs. And of course, they're going to try to do damage control. Look at the picture. Those are staff. Those are teachers. They blurred their faces out. Look at him. He looks like he still wants to kill me, bro. Look at him. Anyway, Sandite families. As you may be aware, a former Sand Springs public school employee was recently arrested in connection with a double homicide in Arkansas. Andrew Mcgann was employed at Sand Springs Public Schools from the summer of 2024 to May 2025. At the end of the 24-25 school year, Mcgann resigned his position to move out of state. See, that's just fishy to me, bro. That's just fishy to me, bro. The safety of our students and staff is our highest priority. Every employee undergoes a mandatory background check for the district when they're hired. Additionally, each teacher undergoes a background check for the Oklahoma State Department of Education. Mcgann passed all background checks. While SSPS has not yet been contacted by authorities regarding this matter, the district has and will always comply with requests from law enforcement in any investigation. Our hearts are with the families and loved ones who have suffered this tragic loss. Okay? Basically, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing, okay? Blame the background check system or something. But, I just feel like somebody should have seen his face and said no. I mean, shit. And then you're hearing all these rumors about him telling kids to sit on his lap. You should have just said no. Like, what? I'm not trying to blame the school. But at the same time, we might have to blame the school. I'm not sure yet. This is another post. This was when he was about to join his new place, his new school, the, what's it called? Bayari Elementary, right? So he's just hopping left and right, up and down, right? This is what he had to say when he was about to get onboarded into this new school so he could terrorize families. Hello, my name is Andrew Mcgann. I'm very excited to join the Dolphin family as a 4th grade math and writing teacher. Jesus, and he's a math teacher. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just don't know. Look at this guy. Anyways, it looks like he does usually shave the sides of his heads. So going back to that barbershop situation, that probably was just a normal, regular day for him after murdering those people. I graduated from Oklahoma State University, go Pokes, in May with a bachelor in elementary education. I have been a substitute for the past 2 years in Tulsa County, Oklahoma, and a student teacher for the spring 2022 semester in Broken Arrow Public Schools in a 4th grade math and science classroom. This is a year of firsts for me. First year teaching, first year in USD, and first year living in Texas. Yeah, it was probably his first year murdering somebody. Yeah. You guys let me know what you have to think about this man. Why did he do it? Was he looking for the kids? Was he looking for the parents? Was it just a senseless Wade Wilson type of a killing? I don't know. I'm leaning toward the direction of he's a chomo, a closeted chomo, and he used schools and little kids and families to be able to get his fix. That I'm 80% sure. He could just be a psycho who likes killing people and the kids were in the way, but I think it goes deeper than that, clearly, with the profession that he chose. You know what I mean? And shout out all my male school teachers out there, because not all male school teachers are Andrew Mcgann, but we definitely got to keep our eyes open for that shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, folks, stay inside, stay safe. Look up your kids' school teachers. Go to the parent-teacher conference. Yes, go to it. Both of y'all. I don't care if you're not together no more. Both of y'all need to go. Look that teacher in the eye. And if you feel a certain way about it, get them up out of there. There's different places in there. Get them up out of there. Anyways, folks, I'm out. Peace.